for a couple of nights, need to rebuild myself to come alive. It all makes sense now, now that the lights out. It's a different world to me, it makes me feel down. Wait until the storm comes down, until the sleep comes and makes it alright. Waiting for the morning light. I'm running away from the past I left behind. I'm looking for answers, but I'm blinded by the light. I'm lost in the music, can I stay here for the night? I promise I'll be gone in the morning, out of sight and out of mind.
Bing bong! What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Caster for Trixel here, bringing you action with Comica. It is the Esports Hub League, I believe, and this is Group B, Cloud Nation Gaming versus Avision Gaming and Comica. This should be a fun one. It's our first time casting together.
Oh yes, it is, and I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to be getting in here on Gavutu, one of the longer range maps that we've seen so far, with two teams playing one of their first matches of the season. I do believe first matches that is casted at the very least, and so far, it looks like Valley is off to a really good start, getting 4 kills in a row, but stopped just short of a streak.
Yeah, we are going to see a lot of back and forth action here on this hill. It's very hotly contested one. And out on the outskirts, like you said, long-range gunfights are going to happen, especially when you look at this rotation that's going to be coming in, since we see ourselves with only 15 seconds remaining on the hill.
Yeah, this map is definitely one of the ones where you have to be a little bit more conscientious of your rotations. Valley seems to be showing absolutely no fear, going in for the previous objective like an absolute madman. And not just him, but a lot of his team there as well. I mean, I guess they do have a lot of their opponents already set up on the other objective, so it doesn't surprise me that they're trying to push through there and through the spawns and into the other side. I think that was actually a pretty decent idea with how strongly they're set up on this little tower area here.
Oh, for sure. That spot up top of this boat, they like to call it gun. DZ was up there and living a bit rent-free for some time. And here we got ourselves Jacob trying to enter in from the side, but Valley finds the 2-piece while holding it down, gets a third kill, comes through for Yuko, and that's the fourth for Pickle, so a full team wipe comes through in favor of Avision on this point with time. It's putting them in the lead right now in the early outskirts of this map.
Unlucky for Infamous, just turned the corner, didn't expect someone to be sitting there right in front of him. You hate to see stuff like that, but Avision gonna be getting a little bit good on this objective. They've taken the lead for the first time, despite the fact that they weren't really in a good spot rotation-wise. They do find a good way around their opponent's setups and get in, so mad respect for them on that break. It's not something that you would expect to see from a lot of teams for that to happen so easily. Next rotation, however, we're going to be seeing Bayou pretty much all the way over there already, but Yukio has somehow gotten all the way behind him, so Avision's looking pretty good at getting in these rowdy spots and breaking from pretty much every single angle.
Yeah, we're seeing the boat, though, very well held securely right now by Valley, who's in there. And number 3 in Pickle is just going to be overwatching from the back, but this flank is huge as Bio finds himself 2 players on the hill, caught with their pants down, looking in the wrong direction, not really finding anything there, not winning this game of I Spy, surely. And Infamous going to find a kill before getting quickly traded out. Pinstripe goes the kill feed, and we do see Cloud Nation with the remaining scraps going their way.
Kill feed may be pinstriped, but Avision, you might have noticed that they pretty much all went down, and as if they wanted to push that any more than they already would, they're pretty much going to be completely incentivized just to go for the next flag, but already going to be trying to catch them on the rotation is going to be Infamous. Not been having the best time so far, but I mean, he's not letting that deteriorate his performance by any means. He's looking to get up here. He's at 6 and 9 now. He was at about like 3 and 8 earlier, so definitely starting to make a little bit of a comeback, getting a little bit more up in his opponent's faces, and giving some good help to his teammates.
Yeah, the points themselves are relatively close. We do see a few kills come through in the kill feed all through, and it's actually all of them. Yukio finding the one sliver of red in there. But that's still just so much success for Cloud Nation, getting into that hill, getting good spawns in the back by Beach. But now they're going to have to deal with this frontal assault coming in from a Vision. A Vision is going to get cut down once again, and their second assault from the hill, just in a one linear line direction towards it, just ends up being all failure.
Yeah, it was mostly because of Jacob's position. He knew where Avision was going to be spawning at, and they pretty much had to run completely in front of where he was standing. He had so much good success with the STG, and you see it now. He got literally 7 kills just for fun, and now not only did he completely squash his opponent's hopes and dreams of going for that objective, he's also got streaks, and he's got an easy out to go for the next objective because everyone's so focused on going straight on in. He's able to pretty much rotate all the way through the beach and get all the way around the back. He's got Pickle to deal with, but he does exactly to him what just happened to the last 7 people he killed, and he finishes them off as well. So Cloud Nation definitely wasn't out initially, but they're really starting to clap back in terms of getting them wipes again.
Yeah, really bringing a second connotation to the word being in a pickle, you know, having pickle as well. You know, it's just all pickles for Evasion at the moment, or Avision, as they're trying to make their way over to this hill that's super hard to break into if you don't get spawn control through it, especially off the initial rip. And right now, that's exactly what they're finding, is a ton of struggles and tough things
Jacob.
to do. Jacob goes massive there with the big kill with the submachine gun, beating out the AR on top of that boat.
Yo, he's got 11 kills in a row. You just can't seem to stop him. Oh man, please say he doesn't do this again, but apparently he is going to be stopped short of getting the 12 piece. You would have loved to see stuff like that. He was getting, I mean, he's the closest to a nuke that I would have seen just yet, Tricks, but yeah, back into the first rotation, Cloud Nation does take a little bit of a 30-point lead, which is not, you know, it's not small by any means necessary, but I mean, we've seen Avision make some good rotations, especially early on, but in recent history, it seems that Cloud have managed to get their head out of the clouds, so to say, and sort of get some good rotations of their own, some good cutoff points, and that's what's really getting them back into the game.
Oh yeah, Cloud Nation's really good, and Avision, you know, I have to say they are a really good team too. You know, both of these teams, it's early days in this group. We see Cloud Nation gaming at 3-0 right now, undefeated. The only team left undefeated in the group. Actually, no, second team undefeated. Team 0-2-1 is 2-0, but 3-0, and then Avision is 2-1 right now. So, you know, we're looking at 2 teams that could be easily in that top end off in the top 2, top 3 of this group. And right now, they're showing us neck and neck competition. And you gotta love it, Comic.
Yo, Jacob. He's already got all of his streaks, and he's trying to go for even more before he can even get any. That's pretty impressive. He's just going straight on in. 3 people, sees them all, doesn't really even care. But Avision, they're going to be making him pay for his hubris a little bit, getting control over the objective, and once again, we are here neck and neck again, Trixel. That 30-point lead is just about evaporated, only a 6-point lead now, and they're going to be trying to break back in again. DZ and Jacob, they're starting to really get away from the rest of the pack in terms of a KD. But, I mean, it's more of, yeah, we have to look at this from a perspective of what have you done for me lately. They're really starting to get brought back down to earth, and if those kills aren't getting you points, then it's pretty useless, in my opinion. Except for the fact that he got streaks, obviously.
Yeah, the kills, it's really just maybe adding some fear factor into some of the engagements you might see out of the Avision players. But right now, engaging into this tank on the beach, it's such a well-fortified spot that you force your opponents to have to know how to play basketball and have good hand-eye coordination to get that nade into the boat, really. As Jacob's been holding it down well, can he get this up? Can it go his way? He does! The drop shot! Mike Tellium, little kiss from the fingers as he gets that one to go his way. And will he be able to stop the others trying to work their way in? It looks like Avision will be able to get into the hill. 30 seconds, well, 25 seconds left of this time. And Comica, it's looking like Cloud Nation, they're still finding ways to seal the deal.
Yeah, although I am a little bit surprised that they were able to break that, considering the fact that Cloud Nation used not one, but 2 glide bombs on them in quick succession. And so, I would have expected it to have a lot more of a benefit to them. Now, going into the next rotation, we do see that Cloud Nation has made a solid attempt at getting a setup here, but Oshi is going to be getting a solid kill on the back from one of them and trying to spawn them out to where Cloud Nation had them very strongly spawn trapped the last time. But Cloud Nation, they're still in a position where they might be able to do something here. Ukio trying to make sure that this doesn't happen. And Jacob and D is going to be the last ones in the objective. Now only Jacob, he falls now as well. But the last thing going for the Cloud Nation right now is that they're not going to be trapped in those bad spawns that Avision were in the last time. So they do have a better chance, I would say, of breaking than Avision did when they were on this hill the last time.
Breaking, definitely a situation to think of. For me, you know, one of the bigger questions is, can they rotate safely and get that initial time on that P4, or I mean P5, like they were able to in the first rotation of hills? It just seemed to be very, you know, helpful for them. It's very secure. It secured them that time, and now that's kind of what I'm looking at as this rotation is coming up. We're seeing a lot of kills coming out of Yukio and O'Shea. O'Shea over at 5 right now, gonna have the glide bomb to work with at least, but then he does drop, so he will only have that glide bomb as a massive 3 kills come into the kill feed from Cloud Nation as they're able to grab the initial time on this hill. Will they be able to grab much more of that as an onslaught from Evasion is coming on in?
Oh, what a nasty spot from BO. Literally sitting on the edge of the precipice here. I didn't even know that was the place he could really stand behind, if I'm totally honest with you. Oshi coming around the side and taking down another 2. That's massive, at least in order to stop the hill time from going into enemy hands. Pickle is going to be able to pick up the pieces where his teammate left off. And oh, it looks like Oshi trying to get a little bit of a cutoff point, but only pretty much stems the flow for a meantime until Pickle just taking the full force of Cloud Nation, breaking back onto the objective. However, Trixel, they're not going to be able to win off of it anymore, so far, Crisis is going to be averted for Avision.
They may not have won the map on that hill, but they won my heart right there with Infamous, sorry, not Envision. Infamous grabbing a massive 3-piece in the back to really let the rest of his teammates lap up the rest of that time there, like it was milk in a bowl for a kitty cat to enjoy. This side of Cloud Nation, they're not sleeping on their opponents, even in the end here, as we're getting close and really dire as this one's down to maybe 1 or 2 more hills.
Yeah, I do like the fact that Avision is trying to keep some pressure in the middle of the map, but they can't seem to hold off against the full frontal assault, which is the really tough part. Jacob still has a bomber, but I'm sure he's not looking to use it just in case he accidentally wipes his own team off the objective, but doesn't really need to use it anyway. 5 seconds is all that's left. All hands on deck is what is necessary for Avision. They hop in and pretty much instantly all die except for good old Valley here, whipping out the machine pistol, frying him completely. 2 of them going in for the last one. Shot punch on point, but the rotation is in, and it's up to Pickle to try and seal the deal.
I'm biting my fingers. Evasion, they are holding on tooth and nail. Talk about no nails on my hand as I've just chewed them all off. But Cloud Nation able to grab this one, taking it out of the lion's mouth, so to speak. It's a 250 to 229. So much effort brought in by Avision in the end there. It just does not pay off. But luckily, it is a best of 5, and that was only map 1 coming up.
Yeah, it was only map 1, and honestly, I think if that's an indicator of anything, I think it's only an indicator that this is going to be an amazing series to cast Trixel. Both those teams, they really left it all out on the line. And there was a lot of unexpected things. We saw some great plays, killing-wise, coming out from, it was Jacob that was going in on the 11-kill streak. Can't forget about something like that. But also he had other people, not just Jacob, going in for those good cutoff points. Just overall good teamwork and map control coming out from Cloud Nation. And it's not too surprising to see them having not lost a single match yet. And so yeah, going on from that, we do see Avision in 2nd place. They have 7 points out of 3 games, which means they're 2-1, only lost 1 more game. I'm curious who they lost it to, but we'll get onto that in a second. Trixel, despite all the good things I just said about Cloud Nation, it was still a very, very close game. Some great rotational prowess coming out from the other side. And so when we do eventually go back into another hard point, I think there's a strong possibility, especially if it's on like more of a, if it's on like Berlin or something like that, I'm sure that they'll be able to pull out something a little bit similar. In fact, maybe even defeat their opponents. But one last thing I'll say is if it's on a closer range map, you got to be worried about Jacob with that sub.
Oh, hell yeah, for sure. I've seen Cloud Nation play before. Got to cast one of their matches, I believe, in their record, their 3-0 record, about a week ago. And Bio, he used the exact same spot that he used on that barrel on P5 that you thought was really strong spot, and he used that one to a T. I really think that the Gavutu is probably one of their better hardpoint maps, so that's where I'm kind of interested to see now. If we do see things extended to another hardpoint map, will they find the same sort of success that they can find on their comfort pick in Gavutu? I'd love to see, like you were saying, a closer range gunfighting map brought to the table and see if they are able to find as much success as they were. Because Infamous was frying and Bio were frying, which were you're the standout ARs for the side of Cloud Nation. Now, would a submachine gun map maybe accelerate some of these subs on Avision? Would they be doing better on a three sub and 1 AR lineup?
I don't know, man.
Just questions, right? It's all we can pose at this point, as we only have one map of information to really go off of for the most part. But we will be getting sorted and getting ready for our next map. I believe it's what is it? Search and Destroy on
Bocage, as they like to call it.
There you go.
I'm sure it's pronounced something completely different in Italian, but I've actually been holding out on you a little bit, Trixel. It's my bad. I've been setting you up for failure. We've actually got the maps right here. It is going to be Gavutu Map 1, Bocage, and then Bocage, so we will be seeing Berlin potentially here at the end of the day. It all depends on if Avision can get a solid clap back in here in one of these next two maps. Bocage, like we were talking about, is one of those maps that can be a little bit more close range, and so it does definitely yield itself to someone like, say, Jacob, who just went on an absolute killing spree with not just the SCG but the sub, showing that he's got some good prowess pretty much anywhere. But from what I've seen also, they do have some good sub prowess holistically on the side of Avision as well, so it's really gonna come down to how well the rest of the people besides Jacob can react to this situation, I feel.
Oh yeah, reaction, adaptation, that's the name of the game when it comes to Call of Duty. And Search and Destroy, definitely, it comes down to a lot of being able to throw variations and variables and different plays, being able to understand when to back off and throw a fake rather than actually fully engaging into one site off the rip. It's going to be interesting to see what these teams sort of bring to the midst here strategically, as I'm expecting there to be a really fast and aggressive first round, really, for teams to really, try to really set a tone.
Seems like that could be the case. We got Pickle trying to get a little bit up front and aggressive, but can't quite Kool-Aid Man through the wall, unfortunately for him. That's what I like to call it, because you're basically busting through the wall and being like, oh yeah. Valley going to be getting a solid first kill, instantly traded out, but now they know blood is in the wire. They're going to try and go for a trade out onto DZ, but it appears that he's going to be getting away pretty scot-free. They've got control over the site, which is what they want. They're pretty much making sure that they don't overplay their hand here, and I like that.
For sure, and Jacob now, he's the holding a really important spot here. Top barn, looking over that middle street wrap or streetway, and number 4 dropping over by B site, which is where they were about to bring the bomb. Definitely is not the best thing to feel. If you're Cloud Nation's IGL in the moment, you just made a call. Let's start to work to B. A player drops now. Yukio in a spot to pull out maybe a maniac type of play. He's going to only disorient these blue arrows and actually force them to split up heavily. So now this puts Avision in a really good spot, in my opinion, to try to choke out these players. And surely Yukio finds the player wrapping the aim. He doesn't. The cat does not find the mouse. The mouse makes it past the cat. And now they're going to look to try to get this bomb planted. But the aggression onto the site is there for Avision as they have the player. He pickpockets them as they're looking to get that bomb planted, and that's going to be the first round going to the team that lost the first map.
Big plays from Pickle. Honestly, it was looking a little bit shaky for them. As you said, they did rotate a bit far away from the site, and they got picked off in a position where maybe they shouldn't have, but I mean, it all worked out at the end of the day. They were able to reassert themselves and figure out where their opponents were planting, and just because of the amount of time that was wasted, they only had one person. They had to have one person planting, and the other had to be watching over him. As soon as he killed the one person getting the plant, the second kill was pretty easy to get. Going in for a very quick hit, just like you said, we're seeing Pickle in here getting up close and personal again. Gonna be catching one on the way out, but ooh, DZ giving him some good overwatch, and just like that, it is down to solo Ukio with the bomb and no friends left to help him.
Friends, but sometimes you don't need friends. If you have the Mongekyo Sharingan like Ukio, maybe you can do it. And he's going to find himself one. Will the player challenge to him? And he does, but the balls are just too massive on that man. He's able to take him down, and that's going to be a 1-to-1, actually. You know, the ballsy challenge, that's sort of what I'm trying to get to right there.
Yeah, I guess he just didn't have faith in the power of the cards, Ukio. That's something that they would say in the Yu-Gi-Oh! You see it too? I'm glad. I'm glad.
That's so good.
I'm glad. Otherwise, I would have sounded like a total idiot up here. But anyways, yeah, that was a pretty crazy start. They pretty much went straight on in, like you said, very aggressively, but Cloud Nation, they just had that great overwatch. We saw it as soon as, I think it was Pickle tried to push in for BO and instantly got fried by DZ. These guys are doing we saw it in the last map as well, they do a great job of cutting off angles and helping each other out. Jacob and BU gonna be doing a great job of helping each other out once again. They're gonna be, you know, pretty much baiting out another one in Valley, pushing him back towards another teammate is going to go instantly for the cutoff. This is amazing. Ukio does get one, but he's instantly being pushed back into the path of two more, and they're ready for him. Cloud Nation, these guys are just so aware of what's going on in pretty much every facet of the game. The communication lines are definitely on point.
Yeah, it's tough, man. When you're in that situation where you're back-to-back, you know, solo to try to clutch up rounds, it starts to really drag and it starts to really, like, I guess, like, hurt your mental a little bit to a degree, because you start to lose trust in your teammates to a degree when they're always dropping so quickly. And then he was put in an even more harder spot because, you know, does he push down that cave, down the tunnel that guy just probably called him out running into? Or does he stay on that side of the map and maybe, like, you know, where could people go? It's a lot of guessing and, you know, probability, and ultimately he does drop. Now, kids are going to be bumping heads here over by A. But right now, they've sort of made in scot-free. Avision getting the bomb down here. And everybody just sort of trying to overwatch from different corners. Jacob poking the bear, finding out where Pickle was and taking him down. Now it's all about entering in and getting good trades. The firefight is on. Jacob finds another. There's two left in there. And Comica, it's just about it here.
Honestly, I was amazed at how Cloud Nation took that pretty much. There was a lot of things that I want to highlight in that. Just the fact that Cloud Nation, they were pretty much circling them like sharks, trying to find any way in. He busted that door open just a little bit, saw his opponent, shot him through there, and at the same time cut off a possible counter chow angle. And pretty much at the same moment after, DZ went in and shot the other guy. But I did like what I saw from Ukio. As soon as his teammate died, he was in no position to help him. And so he's like, maybe if I sit in this other corner, they won't expect me to be in pretty much the same corner as my other teammate. Obviously for him, it didn't work out, but I like the stoicism behind it. It just goes to show that there are some good ideas up in here for Avision, but just, again, the coordination from Cloud Nation, on another level right now.
Yeah, coordination from Cloud Nation, and a quick plug to my 4T Nation, as right now we got ourselves a bit of a standstill. It reminds me of that first round of this Search and Destroy, actually. The way we saw Cloud Nation sort of play back and, you know, wait for Avision to make the mistake of, you know, pushing too far over the line of scrimmage in the middle of the map. And now Infamous, he's stuck trying to get into the breakable walls that we all absolutely love on Bo Cage. Isn't that right, Comica?
Absolutely right. He's gonna nade at him, knows he has to hop out. No, he's literally right on top of him. I don't know if he was properly able to communicate this, and it appears that he wasn't. Infamous! He completely hops out the window at him. Intel was gained by Avision, but apparently not properly communicated, and that's gonna lead to the first kill of the game. Valley turning in, trying to find him, but Infamous finds him back first, does go down, but, I mean, that's well worth what he was getting himself into, I would say.
100%, and now you got the numbers advantage for Cloud Nation. The 2 kills coming through from Infamous. Like you were saying, advantageous position for sure in the boys in blue. Oshie gonna be overextended into the middle of nowhere, and another player dropping off in the middle of nowhere as well. It's tough crossing out in the open with not too much info to play with. Bio gonna drop, and are going to drop the last player and take him down. That's going to be Cloud Nation seeing themselves up with a starting to get substantial lead, really.
One thing I will have to criticize here, Trixel, is one, if not both of those kills that Infamous got were easily preventable if they had gotten some proper 100%. Callouts and had some proper lane watching. Infamous, he could probably even hear him breaking down the walls above them, and so they're like, and he tried to get on that same angle. As I'm saying this, things are going down, so we'll get back to that later. Ukio and Valley both getting a solid 2-piece on their opponents as soon as they peek out their heads. Total control over the site, and Cloud Nation is pretty separated from each other, so they're probably going to have to take a couple of these 40 seconds just to get back together for an attack.
Oh, that's a big pick that Bio just got right there, but him dropping in quick succession, that's going to put an even bigger pickle in for Cloud Nation, and Avision finding the kill there, gets them the round, and I was talking about this one starting to get away from them, and it was, but with the round going your way now, before you get to the thick of it, you gotta make sure that you can capitalize and get more than one round in a row, really, if you want to get yourself into a more favorable position to try to win this map, because we're seeing Cloud Nation. They got still a lot of momentum working with.
They really do, and you know, Trixel, I always like to see how the round 7s go, because there's a little bit of a curse in the Call of Duty scene. I don't know if you know about it. It's the round 7 curse. He who wins round number 7 of an Search and Destroy usually goes on to win the entire map. It's something that I've just noticed in all of my casting days, and all of my co-casters have noticed it too. And it's looking so far not to be Avision that is likely to win this one, because they've already gotten 2 down. They did manage to get Infamous back, but BU giving him the dips, dives, and the weaves, takes him down, and Cloud Nation succeeding those kills with another couple. So 1 off of victory. Avision needs 4 and to break the curse in order to win this map.
Yeah, but I've never really been one to break curses quite well. You know, whenever I've held a curse, it's been for a quite long time, and it's not really led to much profit, more so loss in my life. I'm not going to get dark with that anymore. I'm gonna see
I don't break curses. I obey them.
Like, I just collect them in my Magic the Gathering deck.
I like it. Look at this, though.
But
Sniper.
Oh, yeah, no, sniping, I love it in this game. Oh, man, I missed it in the last one. And DZ will find the first blood onto Pickle over by the barn, and he's going to push up to try to find another, as Jacob, we're still in his sights here, looking for Valley, who is going to be crossing, and the nade's going to come out, and Yukio will find a kill to even things out at 3 apiece. Jacob still holding this angle, not finding anything yet, and it's still, just in a way, pretty much a stalemate.
Ukio not wanting to keep things as a stalemate, trying to go through the middle of the map, and they know that Bio is somewhere up there through the breakable wall, but unfortunately for him, he is long gone. And Cloud Nation retreating even further back into the spawn. Jacob solo dolo on the tower with a sniper. That's a pretty good idea. In the meantime, the rest of the other 2 players are going to be over in positions where they can potentially help each other out a little bit more. Infamous starting to test those possibilities, and Bio up over the top. Bomb is currently being planted, and Infamous is in prime position to stop it. Does indeed do that. And now with 15 seconds left, there's a lot of pickup work to do for Avision.
Oh, yeah, but Infamous is just going to wrap his way back into the hill and to the bomb site. It's going to be an absolute blunder as Cloud Nation win the round. And I believe in doing so, win the map. That is a 6-2 scoreline for Cloud Nation's favor. They're up 2-0 right now in this best-of-5 series as we're getting ready for a map 3 to come up shortly. Comica, Cloud Nation, they're the undefeated team atop this group, and it looks like they might still stay undefeated if they continue playing like this. Wouldn't you agree?
I mean, they're definitely looking the part of an undefeated team. They haven't lost a single one in this one yet, so yeah, I can definitely see it. But yeah, main takeaways from that is, again, the coordination, the teamwork, it's on point. They seem to know exactly what they want to do when they want to do it. They know their own limitations as well. They left Jacob over there by himself with a sniper rifle, and knowing that they won't be able to take the spawn from him at the very least if they get the plant down, and the other 2 go to the other side of the map so that they can more adequately help each other out on one of the sites that is more typically planted on. And so, yeah, I think they show good ideas, and they, instead of trying to extend themselves out from each other when they get pushed, they fall back towards each other. That is something that not a lot of COD players do. I hate to say it, but it always seems to me, Trixel, that whenever COD players get under pressure, they just try and go towards their opponents and try and have some fights. But in pretty much any other esport I cast, players come and try and get themselves more towards their teammates so they can help them out. That's something that Cloud Nation is doing, and it's working out tremendously well for them.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good practice as well to really separate the men from the boys, you know, the pros from the not pro players, or the high tiers to the low tiers, is where you see that whole ability to not let that easy movement and fast paced PTK and all those things that make this game feel fast and feel quick and feel like you have to play aggressive, you know, being able to use some mental fortitude to really slow down and be more patient with it, and have only like a limited amount of players on your team play that aggressively fast, and then be able to communicate well. Like, there's just a lot of things that this team is doing really well that we're seeing not come to fruition for Avision. But it's not saying that Avision don't look like a very solid team. I feel like with some more practice, with tightening up on some of these disciplines, that what we're seeing on the side of Cloud Nation, they could easily be giving Cloud Nation a larger run for their money, a harder run for their money. And it is also early days in this Call of Duty. We're still just moving into the second month of this game.
Yeah, honestly, I think that they're still looking pretty good. Just, I think the major difference here, Trixel, is the fact that not only is Jacob just slaying out incredibly well, and I don't think he was... I don't quite remember his stat line at the last part of that. I know that somebody was 7-2, and it might have been him. But either way, they have some really solid players on their team, but also the main thing is their teamwork. The cutoff potential, that's where most of their time is getting from, because we did see a few times where they didn't have that necessarily on point. Their opponents were able to slip through the cracks and break them, even on hills where they had streaks and they had used 2 of them in order to get them off of it. And so once they are properly playing in all of their defensible positions and getting the cutoffs and got their spawns all set, that is where they truly thrive. And so going into this next hard point, I'm a little bit nervous, if I'm totally honest with you, especially with that last one. Obviously, it's Search and Destroy and Hardpoint are 2 completely different things, but with how the map played, I am a little bit still thinking that Cloud Nation has got an edge.
Yeah, they've got a lot of momentum riding onto this game, and I feel like they're going to really bang it out here in this first hill. Hopefully, it's traditionally one that leads to a lot of confrontation, but I guess in this situation, Avision's looking to avoid it and try to play for these spawns in the side, but Infamous is there. He's been a gatekeeper for this team of Cloud Nation, and he does exactly that over by the barn before dropping in a 2-piece coming in from Oshie, but Jeezy's response 2-piece is great as well. Both of these teams going tit for tat here, but now I think Avision just got a bit of an edge here, not in the points department. They have a small edge in the points department by about 3 or 4 or whatever, but it's really just those spawns on the left side of the map for P2.
Yeah, and it looks like they will be getting these spawns with 8 seconds remaining before they get it, but they have a little bit of trouble in Paradise, Trixel. They got Infamous coming around the back, the main man, the myth, the legend, the flanker himself, trying to cause a little bit of trouble, and it looks like trouble has already definitely been caused, especially because now they've got the spawns. But let's face it, that's not really the end of the world for Avision. As much as people like to give some good credence to these spawns, they might be close, but they might not they're not really the thing that you need in order to keep control over this objective. What you really need is control over the middle. Pickle is trying to keep control over that, but surprisingly, no one really trying to break from the middle for Avision. And you can literally, you see that barn door right there? As soon as you hop out of it, you got cover, and you got some shots on the contest points from the other team, and you can pretty much hop right out onto it and break the hill from there.
Yeah, we're seeing a quick reduce, reuse, recycle here on sort of what Cloud Nation did in the first hard point, and that was just their way of being able to hold hills has been very immaculate once they have their full strength and full numbers over by it. Now, they do give it up here. I'm not sure if it's strategic or if it was, they just were out-muscled on the point. But they do get themselves in a really good spot now to grab initial time on the next hill, and they're already back to slaying work as they're wiping out these players from the team in red, Avision, off of the map. But I do got to give some props over when it comes to Avision's players. Oshie, 8-6. He's really trying to push his boys across these lines on this map.
He's definitely not afraid to put his body on the line, we can say that much. But DZ, oh my lord, going and getting 6 in a row, looking for 7, but he's tipped his hand a little bit, and now there's 3 people to deal with. But he does manage to find 1 alone, 2 alone, that's good for DZ. And now he's got full streaks. He can die any time now. Avision, again, they got the close spawns here, but Cloud Nation, they've got some solid cutoffs. And look at where pretty much DZ is. As soon as they try and push in here, and even with Infamous, they're pretty much going to have to push into sub-Paradise, and it's going to be a really difficult thing. So now they're trying to get a rotation, but DZ covering the run away from the objective now, the rotational point. This is just what we've been seeing from Cloud Nation, and it's what's putting them over the top.
That was probably the most perfect P3 that I've seen in quite some time here. And Avision actually have lost 2 of their players. I don't know if it's them quitting after being spawn trapped in that P3 embarrassingly, or what it is, but I guess I kind of see this one still playing out. We will wait until we get a message here from any of the Esports Hub members of staff or referees or something. But for now, well, I guess we'll try our best to try to commentate a 2 versus 4.
It looks like they are joining back. I'm really not sure what the deal was. Maybe it was just a lag out, but if it was because they had left, I would absolutely lose full. That is not an that's not a time where I would really expect anybody to be leaving. Literally nobody. I would not expect even like some people with the lowest amount of chill to leave at that point. So I don't know. Avision, I'm just assuming it's probably some lag outs and then attempts to reset the game.
Well, yeah, no reset coming through yet, as we see ourselves still playing this one now. Now a 3 versus 4. It's Avision starting to look a little better now, and not in like map control or points mark, but they see an increase in involvement, having a 3rd player here, as Ochi finds 1 up top bench, gets taken down. Jacob finding 2. Pickle trying to chase down a player who went through barrels, does find him. That's going to be 1 devoured by him, and a pretty big name was devoured. It was Infamous, who he catches on that wrap and on that rotate. But E5 just about to be up here with about 15 seconds remaining of it. Infamous, he's getting away with absolutely disgusting things, and you know, he just shouldn't be.
He's getting away with murder. But yeah, he literally slid on those 2 dudes and killed them both simultaneously. We did get to see it from his perspective, but that is clearly what happened. It was pretty awesome. Now, Cloud Nation, obviously you gotta take it with a grain of salt. Their opponents are down by 1, but let's face it, they've been winning pretty much all the time anyway. Jacob on his game again, on his 5 kill streak, but also look at DZ. Even before the lag out, he was 17-3. Does get a little bit slid on and given the jukes by Ukio. Love it. They should rename him to Jukio. But yeah, either way, Avision, it's a tough position to be in, but Cloud Nation, the point differential might be a little bit closer, but I still would say that Cloud Nation would probably be in the lead at this point.
Yeah, Vision hasn't gotten a single lick of points in, I think it's 2 hills now. Maybe going to be 3 as we get into the next hill in about 10 seconds. It's Cloud Nation, they're just absolutely relentless right now. Even with Vision down to 3 players, Cloud Nation not letting up at all in terms of their pressure on the map. They're still looking to try to cook these players alive here with the amount of heat that these players are serving up right now from Cloud Nation.
Yeah, Avision, they're pretty much, again, you can't really talk about anything without talking about the fact that they're missing a player. It's so hard for them to push back in here. They're doing a pretty decent job, but they just cannot assert dominance over Cloud Nation. Pickle does do a good job of killing 1 and somehow gets past the other guys, but even if Infamous didn't win that gunfight, the spawns were gained and they would have instantly turned around and killed him. So yeah, Cloud Nation looking very close to putting this match to bed. And we do have another game after this, ladies and gentlemen, so do not go anywhere after this. Even if Cloud Nation does take the map right now and we don't have a reset, we still have another game coming up right after this.
Yeah, we will have another one, and I'm not quite sure who the teams are, but you know, I hope they bring themselves the A game, unlike Avision Hero, unfortunately hasn't brought it throughout this series. And Cloud Nation, 225 points, getting ready for that P3 to pop on up. Ukio sprinting around with that ATS in use, keeping the thumbs not, you know, getting destroyed, like people talk about if we do get rid of ATS. Actually, yeah, like while we're kind of on this sort of lull of watching these guys play a 4v3, you want to tell me a little bit about your thoughts on ATS?
Well,
Kamiko?
No, because I know that no matter what I say, the Call of Duty community will hate me because this is surprisingly a very passionate issue. People are like, there's one side where it's like, oh, auto attack sprint, if you use it, it should be G8. It's so stupid. But like the other side is like, oh, it definitely gives you a distinct advantage or something like that. They're opposing viewpoints and people view it very strongly. So I'm not gonna say one side or the other.
I got a funny solution, okay?
Sure.
Imagine, right? And imagine in a world, they go, you know what, guys? Because we can't make up our minds, let's have 2 people on our teams with ADS, and then 2 people on our teams without ADS.
Huh. Like smoke bans, but for ATS?
Yeah, but at least you can see the smokes more vividly. Like, how would we ever be able to enforce that, though, in the community? I feel like that would be absolutely... that would go awry way too often. But
that would be
ladies
weird,
and gentlemen,
man.
Thank you so much for tuning into this map and this series. It's been a bit of a wild ending, I would say, because we had that sort of issue where we saw a 2 versus 4 and a 3 versus 4. But all in all, we did, however, enjoy spending the time with you guys for this matchup. Please stay tuned for another match coming up next, as me and Kamika will obviously look to prepare for that one. I don't know, Kamika, do you got a few words to say to the supporters of both of these teams here?
Well, one thing I'll say is that I can definitely give some praise to Cloud Nation. They looked very well coordinated. They've got some great gun skill, but the main thing that put them over the top in the end was not the fact that they were 3v4, but it was the fact that they just got so many good rotations. They knew the positions where they wanted to be in, and they had each other's backs pretty much all the time. Again, I want to harken back to the part where we saw Pickle try to get a solid flank, and he would have had his opponent in BU dead to rights if DZ hadn't been there on the head glitch waiting for him and just pinging him in the face. So yeah, it's something that it's pretty much falls all under the same umbrella of them being very well coordinated, knowing each other very well. That's only something you can get from playing together for at least a little bit of time.
Yeah, they've been scrimming quite a bit from what I know. I've talked to their owners a bit. Yeah, they're a team that's definitely one to continue to keep out for and watch out for. As I think with the records after this matchup, we'll see Cloud Nation Gaming at 4-0 with 12 points atop their group, and Avision will be at 2-2. So it's not too bad. They'll be at 7 points still, and they'll be hoping that a few of those teams below them don't grab themselves some more wins, such as Team 021, who are at 2-0. If they manage to win or win 1 or win 2, they will be hopping up over their opponents here in Avision Gaming. But I think Avision Gaming could definitely clean up a lot of these issues come playoff time,
Yeah. Team 021, they can win 2, they can win 1, but they can't win 0 if they're going to want to get to the playoffs. They can only get... I was trying to make a little bit of a joke there. But yeah, Avision still definitely within striking range of the playoffs, as we said. Especially, I just got noticed that one of the player that lagged out, his power was cut, and I think the second one left to try and get a reset, but the other team did not want to end it, I guess. And so we're going to go through and see if there is going to be a replay. The admins are going to be just trying to figure that out now. So before we give you the final results, we are going to do our due diligence and make sure that that is exactly what is going to be happening. But regardless, after this game, we've got 6 Cents versus Express 2v1 coming up right after this regardless. So if you guys are fans of any of those teams, or you just want to see some good Call of Duty, enough reason to stick around. Or if that wasn't enough, you get to see Trixel's amazing face and hear his beautiful voice. And so on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with whatever of those things we will be seeing. We'll catch you in a bit.
I'm running away from the past I left behind. I'm looking for answers, but I'm blinded by the light. I'm lost in the music, and I stay here for the
make it a nightmare, but you keep doing it for the thrill. Well, this is reality, you only live it once, so wake up from your dream. But just for tonight, let the lines get blurred, let your thoughts be free, let your thoughts be free. Just for tonight, let your thoughts be free. Just for tonight, would you come with me? Just for tonight, let the lines get blurred.
smile. Now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down. 'Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 Safe and sound.
Travel to freedom, broken and worn, but they will keep on in the moonlight, the moonlight. The pressure is on, the cold of the season makes it hard to feel, but they persevere for the end game, the end game. I can only wish that one day we'll find the one to keep. The journey is an endless one to the same love, the same love. Travel to freedom, broken and worn, but they once kept on in the moonlight, the moonlight. I can only wish that one day we'll find the one to keep. The journey is an endless one to the same love, the same love.
intoxicating your energy. First time in so long you felt the heat evaporating your bindings. Move like the sunlight, darkness can't hold you here. Bold and bright, push through the atmosphere. This is your dawn, this is your break. Move like the, move like the, move like the sunlight. Darkness can't hold you here. Bold and bright, push through the atmosphere. This is your dawn, this is your break. Move like the, move like the. I know the sadness that cripples you. It comes in waves and out of the blue. But there are days you feel freedom too. Bask in the glorious lightning. Move like the sunlight. Darkness can't hold you here. Bold and bright, push through the atmosphere. This is your dawn, this is your break. Move like the, move like the, move like the sunlight. Darkness can't hold you here. Bold and bright, push through the atmosphere. This is your dawn, this is your break. Move like the, move like the. Move like the, move like the. Move like the, move like the. Radiate, radiate, radiate. Gravitate, gravitate, gravitate. Innovate, innovate, innovate. Move like the sunlight.
Connor's been stealing from you for years. He's kept accounts open under the names of dead men. Men like them in governance. I stood there and helped him kill Finn to line his own pockets. I thought I was working for you, but I wasn't.
You think I'd give up my son?
He was betraying you.
I know. This is the life we chose, the life we lead. And there is only one guarantee. None of us will see heaven.
Empty hearts and neon lights. They're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone. Just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now. To where we started out. Get me out of now. To where we started out. La 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 la. Oh, oh. Get me out of broken hearts and starting fights. Turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone. Just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome! Welcome back. It's great to see all of your smiling little faces and big faces and whatever size of face you guys might have and shape as well. As it's back with me and Comica coming in for map number 2 on the night. Comica, map number 1. Matchup number 1 was very one-sided. Let's hope that maybe this one is a bit more entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how it couldn't be. I know, especially because I know some of these players. I was definitely hyping up some of them. I always want to try and keep things a little bit neutral, but man, I've seen these guys. I've seen Zayam and I've seen Boofy, 2 of the players in here. What is that noise, by the way? All right, don't worry, we're good. But
Guys, I'm sorry.
you're chilling, dude. But yeah. What I'm trying to say here is I know 2 of these players over on the side of 2v1, which is one of the teams that we're going to be seeing tonight. By the way, guys, match right now is 6 Cents versus... God, what was the name? It was 2v1 something. But either way, I know 2 of the players on here, Zayam...
Express 2v1.
Correct, it is Express 2v1. And I know 2 of the players on that team. It is Zayam and Boofy. They were formerly on Triple Black. I've seen them going back to the days of Modern Warfare, and they are nasty. So, regardless of how competitive the game is, I know that they're going to put on a good show. I also showed you in the break, Trixel. I made a low light reel of people getting destroyed in Modern Warfare, and Boofy is featured in that, destroying somebody. So, definitely some high potential for some funny things. But I digress. Let's get on into this game real quick, and we'll start off with the maps.
Super cool, awesome little transition and cool dynamic map graphic. Whoosh, super cool. And we got ourselves Tuscan. We haven't seen Tuscan at all. Actually, did we see Tuscan earlier? No, right?
We have yet to see Tuscan tonight, actually. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and Berlin. We still haven't seen Berlin either. But we'll be seeing... We're guaranteed the Tuscans to start, the Bocog to be the third map, and then Berlin as 4th and 5th. And things are just getting a lot more faster, sort of like the pace of play in this game that we call.
Sorry, dude. I'm trying to make it not go so fast, but it's not working out too well.
It's fine. It's fine. Next time.
I'll pause it. That'll make it better. I'll pause it.
You can. Oh yeah, there you go. Really nice crimson red paused up like that. Love it. But Comica. What are your thoughts on Tuscan? We haven't seen it yet, and we're going to be seeing it for both maps and modes for the first 2.
Oh, Tuscan best map, 10 out of 10, 100%. It's definitely, in my opinion, one of the better maps in this game, especially because you can play it in both modes. It's pretty good for every single mode, especially hardpoint. Like, it's even when the spawns were like super duper sticky, they still kind of can be at times, but on this map, it wasn't even necessarily that much that way. But I digress once again. We're going to be getting in here with 6 Cents versus Express 2v1, first map of the night between these teams.
Yeah, and it's going to be a bit of a ram battle head thing that happens over by that B1. And Boofy going to be looking to play Godheady from the right side of the hill, from right U, and he's going to get taken down. The hill's going to go purple, and we will see the 6 Cents look to strike while the iron's hot over by Ruins.
Yeah, and speaking of which, we've got Stewie being very patient, hiding right underneath the nose of John and Vask, as you can see here, waiting for his moment to strike and get a proper rotation. Teammates going to be joining him in the middle. They might have lost the hill momentarily. It appears that they're not really keen on that, but Boofy, oh man, great time grenade, is going to come and completely catch him as soon as he tries to come in. Time going slightly into their favor, and they've still got a solid rotation. Or I was going to say they did have a solid rotation, but 6 Cents is going to be beating them to the punch. A little bit of potential for Zam to cause trouble, though.
Yeah, the pinch is going to develop through Zim, but will it get cut off by anybody coming through windows? It looks like number 2 is going to be looking to make a play through there, as his pinch is still there, distracting a couple of these players in purple, and that's going to lead to the side in white and orange finding success on the hill around it, but now back on the defensive as they try to maybe look to hold on to these spawns, as a pinch from the side in purple. 6 Sense looks to unfold. Mysterion, JT gonna work his way around. Gonna find one off the plat stairs. He will drop to Boofy. Quick kill comes back around for EDB, and that will be a pinstripe kill feed with the hell scrap time of 15 seconds going the way of 6 Sense.
Yeah, I was about to say, unfortunately for 6 Sense, they don't really have a proper rotation, whereas Express do, and they did try, to their credit. They really did try, but Zam and the guys properly set up. They've even got John in a high-up location. Zam, this is one of the most annoying head glitches to take people off, and for good reason. You're seeing it right here, right now. Zam with the Automaton, aka the Automalone, completely frying people. He's on a 6-kill streak and only needs one more to go. They do have one slipping through the cracks, and J-Stu could cause some trouble.
You say one more than one time, and, well, I'm going to say one once again. We do lose one for Express 2v1, as it's now a 3 versus 4, and potentially a map reset to be pending. I'm not quite sure. We did get a match. We did get a message, it looks like. And it looks like it's not anything concerning. No refs have made us halt this match, so this one will continue. And we'll just hope that that 4th player from Express 2v1 will regain and be able to rejoin this match.
Honestly, though, when he lagged out, it seemed that they were still holding the objective pretty strongly. And so, I don't know, they might be able to actually hold the storm until they get back in. That remains to be seen, though. Zam coming around the back and doing a pretty good job. He's at a 2 KD currently, and he actually sneaks the spawns away from 6 Sense, despite the fact that they are a man down. Because these are squad spawns, that is something that not be able to happen so easily, but it did. Now, Boofy sliding on into their DMs, taking down one, pre-firing the wrong position, unfortunately for him. But now 6 Sense have started to catch up. Zam and the guys, they're getting close, they're getting good kills, and they actually do make a solid breakup in here despite being a man down. Again, can't count these guys out.
Oh, no. You can't count them out, but you can count the Boofy kills in the kill feed. That is 3. The man is exercising these players away from this church like it is me playing Bloodborne on easy mode. Boofy. Big work right there. He's on a 4-3. Give him another for the glide bomb.
Oh my.
But Bask on the other side is an absolute wasp, stinging up these players, giving them absolutely massive cheeks. And now Zim, he's working his way over to the point, drops himself off at the daycare, and he's gonna get taken out. Mysterion and the team in purple should just overwhelm the last player in Boofy on this new hill, and that is gonna be 6 Sense grabbing a hold of time now.
Yeah, I think Boofy was actually able to get a streak on his way out, which is good for him. Zam peeking inside, trying to find anyone inside the objective, but unluckily for him, J-Stu is literally on the other end of the door, gets a proper angle and takes him down. So, yeah, they're actually 6 Sense. They are going to be able to get a lot of time off this hill, but it's still not enough to make a sizable gap on Express. They seem more than willing to just chalk this one up and go for the next rotation. Vask trying to get total control over the inside of the church, but it's not something that he can do very easily with 2 people barreling down the door at him. Actually, I think it was actually Zam that killed him, but here we go. John back in the game, and it looks like his team has actually managed to keep things within a strikeable distance for him to make a difference when he gets back.
Is that Paris Legion John on the side of Express 2v1?
Gotta be a different John, I would think.
It's All-Star John. Paris Legion John on Express 2v1 here, coming in hot and heavy. He's already got himself 1 kill on the board. Vask looking to hold off the players in purple on this hill, but there you go. He's going to get his teammates to help out too. Boofy finding a kill. It's 3 players from Express 2v1 with different kills in the feed. And John just sitting back here, posted up, looking to find a kill himself. And there it is! He gets on the board with his second, and that's him with 2 in a row. And Moo over there, just trying to graze in the fields over by windows. And unfortunately gets slaughtered by Boofy.
Yeah, speaking of slaughtered, I want to point something out. Despite the fact that 6 Sense had the lead for quite a majority of the time, look at their KDs. They're getting significantly outkilled. Mysterion is the only one that is even close to even. I mean, you got EDB, who is also 300 positive, but double negative here for Moo. Stu was really struggling there as well. He was like 6 and 9 or something like that. But on the contrary, Express is looking very much on the up and up. Everybody positive or close to it. Everybody, for the most part, has streaks. And now that they have their final player back in, I can see why they didn't want to stop it. They feel like they can just steamroll them regardless.
Yeah, they're steamrolling. You know it's bad when one of your teammates only has 2 more kills than they have letters in their name. Moo going 5 and 13. This is griefing at its finest. But Express 2v1, they themselves, they griefed themselves a little bit with John disconnecting and stuff, but that didn't really put in much of a wrench in their play, and it's super funny to see that they're seeing this much success, and they even saw success without him. So really, if we're looking at a 3 versus 4 that happened in our last series, and it was too easy for the team with 4 this time around. You know, we're looking at Express really coming to light and really bringing the fight in this one, with Boofy looking to hold that hill, Vask also popping off as well to the side. It's just been an absolute show to witness from this team in white and orange.
Yeah, he's able to get a good kill onto Vask to his credit, but let's face facts. This is an objective that they weren't able to break even when John had just lagged out. Even when he was gone, they still held this objective for the entire amount of time, which is crazy to think about. Now, they are having a little bit of trouble this time around, but as I'm saying that, Boofy, he slam dunks every single person trying to come in, and they do actually manage to get the full 60, even when I thought they were going to get broken at the last second. Incredible stuff. They are now only 18 points off of winning now. Their opponents are going to be stuck up in this next hill, but again, going back to the time where they didn't have John, they were able to break this objective without him, so with him, I'm very concerned.
Yeah, Johnny Boy coming around to the back there, just looking to take some players off of that spawn, but Sim, from within the church, he will be able to take down 1, beam a few others. Moo collecting 2 kills off to the side, a double-double on the coffee with the milk. He got Moo coming in hot from the heavens, will find himself a kill there, and oh boy, the church is getting absolutely mixy. That's not, you know, it's like a party on a wedding at a church, you know, there's so much dancing that went on in there, but 6 Sense, they're the ones that seem to be coming out on top with the better footwork.
Yeah, but it might be done a little bit quicker than they think. Only 7 seconds is what's needed for Express to win this one, so a break does have to come out. 6 Sense coming in. Stu taking down 1, but Zaya mowing down the rest of them with the automaton. Moo, the last sole survivor, does put things onto the next objective, but look who's sitting there, waiting, sitting pretty for the next objective. It is going to be John. He's going to have a little bit of company, though. EDB standing his ground, doing it very, very well as well, and he's going to have no fear, pushing up into John as well. Zayam trying to do a little bit of something here as well, but doesn't work out for him. Zach is going to be getting a little bit taken down by a stun grenade, so at least for the moment, 6 Sense managing to hold on.
Yeah, they are. They're pushing it. It's more than 6 senses at this point. It seems like it's about 10 or 11 or 12 or 13. And unfortunately, Express, they find a way to get into the hill and get the win. As it is now going to be 250 to 202, your final scoreline for that first map on Tuscan. But man, if these teams are going to be mixy on Tuscan Hardpoint, I'm excited to see how mixy they get in Tuscan Search and Destroy.
Yeah, I'm really curious of that too. Now, one thing I do remember is that back in the old days of Modern Warfare, I was talking up the guys over there. I remember that Search and Destroy was at times good and at sometimes bad, if I do remember things correctly. But yeah, against certain teams it would be good, but I think it wasn't necessarily their best mode, is what I'm trying to get across here, Trix. Obviously, things could have changed. But that performance, it just goes to show you that we shouldn't even look at the scoreline as the main thing to take away from that. The main thing to take away from that is they said, don't stop the game. We're going to keep on going and we're going to keep on winning. And man, they were in the lead before John had lagged out. They were ever so slightly behind, but they pretty much went 50 points clear of their opponents after he had joined back. So the major thing to take away from that is just not only their confidence and their ability to perform just as well without John and have him come back and still be able to win after that, but their ability to pretty much perform at that level as well. And it's how little they think of their opponents to suggest something like that.
Well, yeah, like, and I feel like maybe it's just me thinking it, but I feel like if John wasn't the one that disconnected, and if it was a more influential player on their team that disconnected, it probably would have went a little bit more easily in the Team of Four's favor. I really feel like because it was John, it was still savable. Like, it's not me insulting John whatsoever, but I do feel like he wasn't that impactful of a player on that team in that first map. Though he can easily change our minds with this next map coming up in Search and Destroy on Tuscan. What are your thoughts around Search and Destroy on Tuscan, and just sort of like how you like playing that one? Maybe which side do you like? Give me a breakdown, sir.
Which side I like for attacking or defending? Honestly, I kind of like either. I will admit though that there are some things that make defending a lot more easier aside from just, the typical bomb game mechanics as they're now being referred to as. Yeah, it seems like they are definitely intended, the bomb planting mechanics. But I digress. There are definitely things that make it a lot easier to defend on this map than just that. There is literally one of the bomb sites is a nade spot. So it can definitely be a lot easier. You know the one I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure it's the A bomb site. Yeah. You can bank a grenade from there inside the church and kill anyone who's planting the bomb. So it definitely makes you have to be a lot more careful on the attack.
Plus with B, it's like really well like hidden from and like you can set up if you're the defense a lot quicker around that site than the offense can even get to that site. So, but yeah, no, for offense, it's pretty much almost always going to be an A hit. We tend to see, and that's exactly what I've foretold it is happening right now. As Vask makes it towards there, inside of Church, it's going to be a bit of a scuffle potentially out by the front of it with, I think, Mysterion about to get into a bit of a battle or a tussle with somebody there. Spoofy, he makes his way inside. He's going to go up top. He's going to find a player up top, room broken. And he's going to drop in quick response to Hyperion or Mysterion. And now we're going to be at an even footing. But John in the back foot, he's going to find a kill. Zem as well. And Vosk will clean up the last. That is everybody on the side of Express 2v1 finding a kill in that opening round. That's teamwork, sir.
That's a team ace. And that was incredible teamwork from the side of 2v1. As we said, they're a team that has at least a modicum of experience together, and they're definitely showing it. They're also some very good players. Now, in contrast, I want to point out the fact that the way that their opponent's setup was incredibly sloppy. They didn't have anyone with any efficacy to stop a plant on A. From that nade spot I had just mentioned, it is on A, by the way. Now, Boofy and the guys, as I'm saying this, break down more on that in a second. They're just pushing right on up here into the smoke, and Boofy sitting pretty and waiting for some unfortunate soul to turn and face him.
And he does. He witnesses himself getting murdered as well as another soul. And John gonna find a response kill to make things more... Wait, why do I see a John? Oh, there's a John and a Just You. Oh, I didn't even notice. I thought Just You was John for some reason. 6 cents, they get themselves 2 big kills right there. That makes things a 2 versus 1, and that makes things a doable round and a winnable round.
Yeah, back to what I was saying about 6 Sense's lack of coordination on the first round. I'm not going to really bag on them too hard, but they really lacked a lot of mid control, and that's what allowed Boofy to sneak through and kill one of them and even further destroy their mid control. And yeah, it pretty much all fell apart from there. The problem in that round from 2v1 and Zam and Boofy was pretty much in the fact that they did put up that smoke and they tried to get up a little bit too far. You saw Boofy going around the corner, but then just crawled out and tried to chow that guy in the head glitch when he was pretty much more or less fully exposed. And so I feel like they got a little bit too aggressive from their defensive positions, and that was their major pitfall in that round.
Yeah, pitfall, yes. Now, potential pitfall is if Boofy over-aggresses here, as 6 Cents are looking to absorb any aggressive pushes over beyond that middle ground there. But Boofy, we talk about aggression, he brings out 2 massive kills. Does he spot the third player? He does. Give him the ace. Last player remaining up top. Fire, broken, going out back. Number 2 will clean up the kill. No, he doesn't. Just finds a 2-piece. The 1 versus 4 alive, but he does drop to a player remaining from Express by Ruins. That's a 2v1 win right there for Express 2v1.
Honestly, Stu did a pretty good job in that situation, despite all the circumstances around it. Boofy just made an impossible situation for him, more or less. Boofy took down 3, he took down 2, but unfortunately for Stu, the only one that was left was him, and he still had to go up against Zayam and Boofy, who have probably more experience together than anyone else in this lobby. Now, going into this next round, I'm a little bit interested to see how Express is going to be setting up this time. Boofy not going to the same spot. In fact, they're getting a little bit nade heavy. Boofy just showing no fear. What? That's a little bit, I'm not going to lie, that's a bit questionable from Boofy. But Vask is going to be sitting around the corner, takes him down. Does get a second one to his credit. Incredible. And that's basically evening things up a little bit.
Oh, Lord. This game, man. It's just, we're seeing play after play here. And now we see 6 Sense on a better foot, the front foot here. Working their way towards that bomb to pick it up and then obviously plant it here, as they are on the offensive side. EDB and just Stu, or just, I don't know, call him Stu, right? Stu and EDB, the last 2 alive here, should get this plant to go their way. Number 2 in Zyme, he's going to look to play from outer church here, ruined church side. He's being a bit patient here with his automaton out. He's going to find 1 kill, and I should expect him to retreat. Instead, he's going to look to still stand some ground here, and the player hiding in the other corner should hear him if he does hop on that defuse. It's going to just maybe pick it up for a second, doesn't. EDB just staying very patient. Way to be choosy, young lad. And he should find the right...
Oh, there you go!
You just spit on him! That player! His family at home might have just disowned... No, I'm kidding. No, definitely did not disown him. But man, that was absolutely magical.
That was nasty. I was a little bit worried. I'm like, oh no, Zammy's literally right in that corner. You saw him cross potentially. He might have seen a sliver, but oh, the awareness from Zam. Gets off the bomb, and luckily for him, he's on a head glitch. An element of surprise for his opponent is gone. He waited way too long to start putting bullets in him, but especially because he had already picked up the bomb. In theory, he should have been able to kill them a lot quicker than Zayam, especially because, you know, you gotta put down the bomb. But either way, great stuff from Zayam.
There's so much credit you can give to that player there, reflexes and all. You know, I just hope that the other player, you know, doesn't let that, you know, get too much to his head. EDB, you know, there's still much more in this series to still play through, and Boofy will take him down. So there'll be another round where he's not gonna be able to stay up and you know, win it for his team. But 6 Sense, 2 versus 3 situation. They have their players holding hands, which is something that I like here. It's going to be better suited for getting some of these trades here, as they're looking to work their way over towards this bomb site. A player should have been spotted. Vask does get to take down one of them. Mysterion will find the kill, and now it makes it a 1 versus 2. Comica, 2 versus 1 for Express 2v1. Will they get the 2v1 to go their way again?
I don't think it quite matters, because he has thoroughly run himself out of time. And what he's going to do here, he's got 2 kills in the bank, so he's thinking, maybe if I stay alive, I can get 3. So he's going to try and catch somebody on the way out, potentially, to try and search for him. But I think overall, this is a good decision to make. He would have had to pretty much kill both the players and defuse the bomb with 15 seconds remaining. So in reality, you have 7 seconds to kill 2 players and start to defuse, which is very unlikely. So I think, even though they lost the round because of it, it was this correct strategic decision to make for him.
A lot of strategic decisions you made on that in that search and destroy round. You know, look at some of the responses to kills in certain spots on the map here, and well, the teams, they're not going to be butting their heads as aggressively as they have over some of these rounds. It's going to be a bit slower here, as you know, certain people like to over aggress like Boofy, and wow, it's quick traded kills there. John finding 1, Moo and Stu finding 1, and Zyme as well, finishing it all off, taking down Stu. Makes things a 2 versus 2 with Moo and Mysterion gonna drop as well, and mind breaking that one down. That was a quick little chaotic session.
That was a great prediction from Zayam. He was in a great position to figure out where to check, at least for the rotation. He knew that there was a push mid-map. He probably got a call out from his teammate that, oh, they're rotating, or oh, I don't see him. So he's like, you know what, maybe I can go see and check to see if they're coming my way. And one of the more common places to rotate from, if you're coming from the middle of the map, is straight from there. And so he pretty much catches them all lined up in the middle of the open, hops the corner, and fries both of them at the same time. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, right now we're looking at a lot of success and we're looking at a lot of momentum that's been built over these rounds here for the side of Express 2v1 as the first blood comes through for Sense. That's got to be a nice little momentum stopper for the moment. Stemming a little bit of bleeding here, but Zyme finding a good angle to maybe catch one who rotated around through P5, and that is going to be the kill right there. Move on a second kill in this one life of this one round. We'll look to find some more, but Vask should go for the... Oh my lord, he doesn't go for the humiliation, but I could understand that as he was in a 1 versus 3 situation. Now, making it a 1 versus 2, calling like a Vask, he seems like he might have some crack movement and some ice in his veins here for this round.
Definitely seems like it. Look at the way this guy's moving around and checking all these corners so rapidly. He does have about 30 seconds, and this is going to be a little bit of a tough one. You see, the Sixth Sense players, they are a bit grouped together on common sight lines. They're doing a smart thing and staying close together so that they don't get killed without being traded out. But it seems like EDB is starting to extend a little bit further away from Mysterion. Now they're back together. That's good play. Do have to be a little bit cautious, though. Vask, he's literally right around the corner. One has to defuse and one has to guard. And they do catch him before going on the defuse. They had plenty of time to do that. That's great decision-making from Sixth Sense. Now, they just have to do that 4 more times in order to avoid losing another map to Express. Is it possible? I mean, maybe, but it's definitely looking likely that the other outcome is more than likely. God, what?
It's okay, man.
It's all right. I stumbled real bad.
It's about 10 p.m., you know, long days and everything like that, and, you know, just unexpected things happen, you know.
Right.
Prompts an unexpected way of and reaction and wording from the people commentating. So that's just kind of what happened. And so right now that was a massive round for Sixth Sense to get on the board. You know, they're backed up against the wall here. It was a 5-1 score line, and every single round here will count massively for them if they can get them to go their way. So Mysterion is going to be able to find a nice trade kill onto Boofy after Boofy found the first blood kill over by you. And Zyme's kill right there onto EDB really spells some trouble, as the bomb will look to get planted down. Zyme, will he be able to get a quick kill around here? Will he? No, and he doesn't even need to, as John picks up 2 by Runes, and that is going to be your game. 6-2 on the Search and Destroy Tuscan, as both Tuscans go the way of Express 2v1.
They looked well and truly better than their opponents in that one. I'm going to be real with you. I think Boofy, yeah, despite the fact that he was pretty much strictly the first one to go down from his team every single time, he was pretty much your entry fragger. You see, he got 1 first death, but 3 first bloods, and then pretty much got traded a lot of the times after. That's something that you can afford to get away with when you're pretty much baiting for your teammates. You're trying to go in and get a kill, and if you get traded out, you're pretty much teeing up your teammate for yet another kill. It's the whole concept of an entry fragger. It's the same thing across pretty much every single first-person shooter. This is not a foreign concept. And he played the role pretty dang well. 6 and 7 at the end. I would say that that's a pretty successful entry fragger, especially when your team is winning 6-2. Now, going into this next map, which remind me is going to be slowly but surely.
I thought I
Bocage, there we go.
Yeah. Which is a map that we're very familiar with so far tonight, as we've already seen that one played out, I believe, twice, right?
Yeah, we've seen it twice. Once in Search and Destroy, and once in S&D.
You mean Hardpoint and Search?
God, I just said the same thing twice. Yeah, once in S&D, once in Hardpoint, so we've seen it once tonight.
You know, hey, you know, Search and Destroy, it's one of those kind of modes, you know, it's so nice, you gotta say it twice sometimes. So,
right.
You know, we're getting ready for that Search and Destroy on not Search and Destroy, we're Hardpoint on Bocage coming up next. It's a really fast map, and so far, the fast play has been very successful for the side of Express 2v1. You know, you're looking at Boofy and you're looking at Vask, who just are so quick and in your face with their guns, their submachine guns, and then to bring up Zyme's clutchness and John, who is a bit of a ghost on that team, but also, as we saw in that last round, really got 2 massive kills to end that round off. Like, everybody on their team is really firing on, you know, equally hot cylinders right now.
Yeah, and in all honesty, John has been doing a pretty good job as well. He might not be called upon to do work all the time because his teammates just go in, they're so aggressive, and they get the frags that he's not always being called upon to do some work. But you saw from the amount of times you saw from his KD at the end, I think he ended about 9 and 4. He can get it done when he is when he is the one that is getting the gunfights pushed upon him. So now, going into this next map, it's going to be sub-heaven a little bit more again, and so John, I think, is going to be called upon a little bit more to do some rotational work, but also a little bit of, cleanup crew, making things easier for his subs. But yeah, eyes definitely, truly going to be on Boofy and Zam again, I'd say.
Yeah, no,
But
and yeah, it's Boofy has been an absolute joy to watch so far in Castover. To me, I feel like he's got to be one of the standouts for sure for that team so far this series. Probably the player of the series in my voting. And on the other side, though, I feel like we got to talk a little bit about the opponents here that haven't been having the best of times here on these two maps and modes, as EBD or EDB, Moo, Stu, and Mysterion, or whatever his
Mysterion,
name
yeah.
was, DJ something. I feel like they've just been on the cusp of being able to do a lot better and put themselves in a lot better situations. If they can just look to shut down one of those two really key players that we talked about earlier in either Boofy or Zymes, I feel like they'll be on that cusp of really being able to take a hold of this map, regardless of the mode, really.
yeah, it's going to be, I would say, a little bit more difficult than just shutting down one or two players. Mysterion doing a good job of taking down two, but Vask, he's a pretty solid sub as well, and he fries two just like that. Going around to flip the spawns, and he's going to be forcing them out to one side or the other, but unfortunately for him, he catches them while they're all still together and spawning up, and he gets instantly vaporized. Still holding good control over the spawns, currently is going to be 6 cents, but you see Boofy and the guys are really challenging very hard for it, and they're also using this barn. This barn is pretty much the thing that you want to be controlling on this map because it gives you an avenue to both contest the objective, you can shoot pretty much anyone on the objective from in there, and also go in and extend into the spawns.
Yeah, and 6 cents, where they're faltering right now when it comes to outslaying their opponents, they're making up for it with the hills control, but it looks like we will be getting a replay on this map because that one closed up.
Yeah, I think it crashed for everybody. Crashed for everyone.
Yeah. Well, that sort of little situation and issue is kind of happening. Why don't we talk a little bit quickly about I don't know, challengers. I feel like we maybe should talk a little bit about challengers, since it's a little bit of a talk of the town at the moment with the cup being pushed back, and hopefully a third game mode coming out by the time that cup comes out, and we have to see the players play on it. But what are some of your expectations with challengers this year? Are you excited to see some of these newly formed teams look to battle it out? Are you expecting there to be some ruffles in the feathers of the top?
Oh, I definitely think so. We've definitely seen some players that were better last season struggle in comparison to players this season. I don't know if that's necessarily from a failure to adapt as fast and they'll get better later, or if it's just because they struggle with new mechanics and they might not be able to get it as good as some of these other players that are having great performances now. Some people I would really want to highlight is the people, who I'm going to say is Team Final Strike. They're in the league as well, and they've been just killing everybody in all these online tournaments that we've been casting so far. How indicative is that of how they'll do in Challengers? Can't necessarily say because they're not fighting really all the people that they will be fighting in Challengers, but I think it can only be a good sign, right?
Well, half their team last year was in Challengers, and I think was a top 64, top 32 team. It was Speeda and one other player who played in Challengers. I think Challengers champs day one or something early on Challengers champs. With the top 32. So they do have some Challengers level talent on their team. Right. And I feel like the ones that were playing in the online leagues more than getting successful Challengers results last year, I feel like they've started to step themselves up and be able to really, I feel like that team's going to really have a good time contending and being a strong, I think, I feel like they'd be a strong representative for the hope of what is low tier Call of Duty, as a lot of people commonly refer to these online leagues as, seeing as they compete in them themselves and have gotten better and gotten more connections and more relationships built through it. I'm excited to see sort of what that team can bring up in this competition on the Esports Hub League as well, because they're in another group.
Yeah. And now I do have a little bit of an update, by the way, as to why the last game ended. It is... Now I also know why this game ended. So I'll start with the last game, and then I'll go into this game. So the reason why the last game ended is because Vask accidentally kept a smoke on from Search and Destroy, and I believe they have GA'd them completely out of Hardpoint. And so, yeah, that is the reason why they did the reset, just a little bit of a GA break. They were honorable about it, and they decided, we'll just reset it. It was my bad. And they both acknowledged it. This one, I believe it was because someone actually lagged out. So, on that note, while we get this thing going up once again, we will be going to a quick break. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you as soon as the game actually starts.
Flowers that bloom in the darkness. It's a sighting that is rare to come across. Nobody seems to have noticed that the power that could be bestowed is lost, riding through the twilight. This armory protects my heart.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It looks like we have the map set up. Hopefully things don't lag out this time around. Hopefully I didn't just jinx it all by saying that, but we're in, and it's Express 2v1 up against 6 Cents. This is map number 3, where Express 2v1 could win the series in a 3-0 and join Cloud Nation on 3-0s on the day.
Yeah, we're
And
finally
I'm
back
also
in...
joined. I'm also joined by Comica, guys. My apologies.
Yes, indeed you are. Express trying to go in hard for a flip of the spawns off the rip, it seems here, but what they did get in this push is some good control over the barn. Going in around the back is John, but does instantly get killed here as well. So, yeah, it seems like, at least in the initial push, Express has been not having the most of success because... yeah, they haven't really gotten a whole lot of hill time off this objective, and they haven't gotten a whole lot of map control. But that's starting to change now as they get some basically total dominance over the middle, and now they're pretty much able to contest the next objective whenever and however they want.
Yeah, Express just really holding the head down into the sink, really, as Express just make their way, muscle their way onto the hill. 6 Cents, though, they do have a decent spawn that they're working with on the left side of the map. It's going to be good for some reinforcements. It's going to help as they're trading massively, and immaculately is Mysterion as he finds himself a 3-piece. Boofy nearly getting an answering 3-piece right there, but Moo stands tall by that tree, continues to graze on the beautiful grass that is right below it, as well as the point. And that's going to be 6 Cents working their way to equate or equal up Express 2v1's 31 points that they have right now.
Yeah, now, I just want you to look at how 6 Cents is positioned right now. They've got one person facing forward, but most of their people are facing towards the middle of the map. It's because they are pretty much so dang focused. They are so afraid because of the fact that they have lost the mid-map control that they will just get pushed right on through there. And as I'm saying that, it appears that you have indeed cursed us here. We are not going to be canceling the curses. We are living in them, as you like to say, as we have lost, I think it is, so now we've lost Visk now.
Yeah, but it's still Zyme and Goofy who are still here, so they might decide they want to continue playing, because those two are absolute menaces on the map. And John, he's in. He gets to live. He gets to laugh as well, as he sees his other teammate get disconnected and be like, haha, not me this time there, suckers. As Stu, he's going to be looking to play from Kitchen, and another teammate is going to try to work his way towards that hill. The Sixth Sense, they're doing a good job, and soaking up that time, but unfortunately, Express, they're down that player, and they can't really fight as effectively to try to work their way back on the hill. So we'll see as they continue to play this one out. Looks like Sixth Sense on the upper hand at the moment.
The difficulty about this map and trying to play in a 3v4 as opposed to the previous one is all these hills, you can pretty much just sit down on with your entire team and play 4v3s every single day, 10 times out of 10 when you're in this situation. So, compared to the last map, again, it's going to be a lot harder for Express to keep in the game. They're just going to have to really hope that their teammate gets back very soon. Boofy just going to be sliding all around EDB. None the wiser takes him down. But either way, it's not having too much overall impact on their happiness. They're pretty much soaking up all this time without fail. Express, they might get a kill here and there, but until their final player gets back in, I think it's just going to be... They're just going to be just riding the pain train until he gets back, pretty much.
Yeah, it's really, it's a real painful train right now for the side of Express 2v1, and it's not one that I certainly would want to buy a ticket to, as right now we're seeing Sixth Sense. We saw Moo and Mysterion pop off earlier on, and right now it's Stu who's popping off as of recent. He's got himself up to 12-7. The 12-4 from Moo is still quite immaculate. He's milking that one as much as he can, as he's up on a 4 streak, looking to see if he can get himself that glide bomb. But from the back, it's going to be Boofy. He is blooming from the flowers, and unfortunately will not be Thuman and Zoomin no longer as he gets taken down. John makes his way into the hill, and we will start to see Express, for the first time in quite a while it seems, soak up time on a hill.
You know, they should change their name from Express 2v1 to Express 3v4. I think that would be a proper name change, because every single hardpoint we've seen them, they've always had this happen to them. Now, Boofy and the guys, I'm really hoping that their teammate comes back in soon, because there's not a whole lot of game left. Sixth Sense is already halfway towards winning, so I'm hoping that they are actually able to get back in. Zayam doing a pretty good job in the middle of the map, killing 3 people in a row. It's pretty much a full team wipe happening now, but the stun is going to preclude him from being able to follow it up onto Mysterion, unfortunately for him. And now Vask is going to be back in. They are thoroughly down, but not necessarily down bad. We've seen them get themselves out of bad positions before, and on a new rotation, they might be able to hit the reset button.
Oh, hell yeah. That's crazy. Heavy. He's like, oh no, one of you guys pulled my plug, and I'm going to plug that shit back in, and I'm going to take you down. And he gets himself 4, maybe 5. He gets himself 4 kills. I was going to say 5, but I got to stop myself right there. So he's in a 4-1 right there. Absolutely immaculate start to his little debut in this first hill on the second rotation of hills.
I think he's just trying to make up for lost time with the amount of kills that he lost, and just trying to get as many back in as little time as possible. That's what it seems like to me. Boofy, stuck up inside the barn, is not going to be having too much fun, but they're doing a good job of keeping control over the middle of the map, and in the meantime, Zayam with the automaton is going to be trying to at least make sure that the people coming from the full frontal assault angle are not going to be able to get on too easily, and so eventually they can get out from the barn and onto the objective. But Mysterion, coming from the middle of the map, not going through the barn, is going to be going all the way around and taking them off the objective. A lot of contention going on here from Sixth Sense, despite the fact, pretty much in the fact that no one is on this objective. This really goes into place in their hands, even if they don't get this time, because this is a hill that Express should be getting a lot of time off of with this initial setup, and then going into the next one, it's a setup that they will have, so they will be able to retain the lead and expound upon it even more from this point.
Bing bong, man. They're just taking absolutely all the money from this hill, and they're bleeding dry, this Sixth Sense side that's all the way stuck over at P3. And it's not like I don't think Sixth Sense had chalked up the hill too early on, but it's just been that Express team just relentless with their pressure outside of the point, keeping such a high line in the middle of the map you talked about before. And now Vask, he's perched up here up top. He's waiting for his teammates to come in so that he can start to chow together in a collective. He's going to find one hopping down from his perch, but he will drop. Will we see trade kills coming around with his teammates trying to work their way back into the hill? It's Zymes finding 2 in the pinstripe feed. Stu going to drop as John finds a kill. Stu outnumbered by the hill. Will have to retreat up top. Going to work his way around behind, and bada bing, bada boom. Stu is absolutely stewing up his opponents.
Disco Stu dancing around all of his opponents, leaving them stranded with broken ankles. He trades himself out at the last bit there. But yeah, one thing I really want to say here, Trix, is Sixth Sense, they've been doing a great job of denying hill time. Not even necessarily getting it, but on P2, they only really let their opponents get about 20 seconds off of it. And that's pretty good considering the fact that Express was teed up in a position where they could have gotten about at least 10 more seconds or maybe 20 more seconds than that. Now going into this, the next hill, they pretty much held their ground and got a lot of time off that as well. And now they're rotating and breaking them again. And they've got streaks as well. This is starting to look like it could be a non-recoverable position for Express. I could be wrong, but it's really starting to look good for Sixth Sense.
Yeah, it is, and it isn't at times. Like that's
right,
just
yeah.
how it is. You know, we look at it and it's like it could be a stone that's been chiseled, or it could just be, you know, an erasable scratch of granite or lead on a piece of paper. And right now, you're seeing Express, they're working their way through this hill, and they're working their way to the other side of the map. The mid-map control is definitely starting to come through in their favor here, as they're keeping these players at bay. Stu gonna get knifed in the back by Zim. He's having real fun with it. You talked about Disco Stu. Well, I'm gonna bring out Halloween Murderer Zim if he comes out with the blade. And well, Boof, he's gonna look to play from his secret spot inside the tower. Find one in the back. He will have to take a bullet shower as players shoot in behind him. And now we're on to that P5. We're Express gonna have some initial time over by the boat.
Yeah, this is good for them. Sixth Sense, they had rotated much prior to their opponents, so I was expecting them to get properly set up on this a lot quicker than their opponents, but clearly I was mistaken. Ooh, Stu! That was not cash money at all! Is gonna be killing 2 of his own teammates! Completely destroying their own push, but I guess it doesn't hurt them too much. They go in despite the fact that he killed, like, half the people he killed in that push were his own teammates. But still managing to get a good break on the hill, good for them. But at the same time, look at how much Express has caught up. Visk, did he lag out again? I really think he did. But yeah, all these things, it's really starting to point towards Sixth Sense looking to win right now.
Yeah, you know, we're looking at lag out situations in their favor. Even though, like, the streak kills his own teammates. That's just the problem with that streak in general. I feel like it's one of those things that it makes it super tough to use and feel confident that you're going to get the best out of it. Is just how likely and how often you see teammates killing each other with it. Boof's massive 3-piece by that hill wasn't really well rewarded at all because his team hasn't been able to find kill time. And Zyme finding that 3-piece himself here in the kill feed with the Spearon's 2-piece in the middle. He's Zim staying up. And oh,
what?
It's absolutely a menace on this map right now. Dissecting like a surgeon the players over by that hill.
This is a contest point right here. Did you see where he was standing and getting all that time from? He was literally on the other side of the wall getting all that hill time and nobody could find him and kill him. I might have been a bit hasty when I said that Sixth Sense could win this 3v4 again, but I mean, hey, here comes Zayam, and with his glide bomb, he got it from that last little string of kills, and he will be catching EDB off the objective, and in goes John, eating up this hill time. They are about to catch and surpass Sixth Sense again from being man down. Coming from behind him is going to be Mysterion, runs right into him, but teammate kills him. Zayam on a little bit of a roll again. He's on 3 in a row, only 1 left, but sadly for him, it's 1 too many. And now Sixth Sense will be able to get back onto this objective. All they really have to do is just knock them off this objective, but either way, Sixth Sense is looking pretty good in terms of rotational capability. And yeah, this is still tough to call, Trix. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's a tight one. It's definitely a tight race, and it can't be won on this hill. So even though EDB is looking to soak up that time, he will drop as John or Sim finds the kill there, rotates over to the next hill, and on the early rotation, if expect they have players on the hill. The hill is going to pop up. It's going to give him some time. John getting taken out. This is crucial here. As Sixth Sense look like they've locked in the win, and they have done so. With the spawns being too far away, Sixth Sense win this map off of technicalities to a degree, but also just overall working super well as a team. 250 to 234.
I gotta say, even without Vask for the majority of that game and the end of that game, that was incredible stuff from them. They looked very, very good, especially. Yeah, I just got a scan and repair, by the way, but that's fine because it's after the game. I guess that's the best time to get a scan and repair. But main takeaways from that is, even though it was a loss for Express 2v1, they looked pretty dang good. And would that result have stayed the same if they had still kept in Vask the whole time? I can't necessarily say that for a fact, but I think it's likely that they could have. They can make a case for it. They definitely can. There were some great moments in there as well. We saw Disco Stu give him the moves, as we said, but yeah, that's one of the tough games you hate to see. You never want a game to be, so close and be up to someone be able to say, oh, you only won that because our friend lagged out, not just once but twice. And so in theory you would want it to be one of the teams just winning outright, but sadly that's not always going to be the case in online COD.
Yeah, but to be fair, for this side of Sixth Sense, they avoided the embarrassment of if they would have lost the series 3-0 and having lost by having to play by losing games like 4 versus 3, not just once but twice in the same best of 5. Like, I don't know, that I think that's a slightly embarrassing end to things. But with this map going the way of Sixth Sense, it does an awesome thing for us. It allows me and Comica to now commentate a 5th different map today in Berlin.
Yeah, and honestly, Berlin is probably one of my more favorite maps for Hardpoint. That might be something that you don't hear a whole lot of people say, just because it's a pretty big kind of map. But I think it's a pretty good map because it requires you to be rotating a lot. It really rewards rotations and setups and things like that, so you always got to be on your toes, always have a little bit of a mini objective to fight for besides just the hill itself, you know what I mean? And so yeah, I think it's a very good map in that aspect, but it definitely makes you rely on your ARs a lot. And so coming into this, who have we seen do a pretty good job on the AR? We've seen John do a really good job on the AR, so I think that this might be a map where he is called upon to do a little bit more. But we've also seen people on the other team do a pretty decent job at times with the AR as well and getting those rotations. So I think it could. My mind is open going into this, Trix.
I think one of the key words I want to piggyback off of your points with was when you started to say rotations, right? I feel like getting to these rotations to be really like go in your team's favor. So getting to those hills early, getting set up with those spawns, they are super profitable on this map. You're looking at P1 being a massive money hill on that second rotation of hills and third rotation of hills. You're looking at P2 being a huge money hill. You're looking at P3 being a huge money hill. You're looking at P4 being also a huge money hill. And when I say money hill, I mean like when you get good spawns, it's so hard to be uprooted when you get that quick reinforcement. But P5, that's not one that's the most scrappiest, I feel. I feel like that one's the one that's the most 50-50. It's the most even. And it's the one that's going to also see us, probably see the players throw the most nades and stuns. It's just one of those hills that you just can't help but want to chuck a few balls at it,
Right. There are definitely a few hills that are in enclosed spaces that scream throw a grenade at me, but that one is. There's so many different places you can get shot from. There's so many different avenues into the objective, and so that is indeed the most contestable point on the map. But there's definitely ways you can make yourself untouchable by that point if you play your cards right. Going into this first hill, we're going to be seeing Vask and his amazing sub play and see how much it can have an impact on this one. It looks like he's going to try and maybe get a flanker on the back. He almost catches one, but is left absolutely stranded by EDB. Good step on him, but Boofy instantly there to pick things up with a 3.
Oh my god, Boofy! I'm shaking my hands back and forth here, and my hands are above my head. That was a absolutely insane play, and he continues to add more pressure, more salt rubbed into the wounds here as he grabs himself a 4th kill, holding those players back in those spawns. And it's just Boofy, man. He puts on a show when he's on these maps, when he has that sub, when he gets into a spot that's for damage and damage only, and he absolutely dealt it.
Indeed he did. He's kind of sticking around here. He's nursing those kill streaks. I know that's what he's trying to do. He's got one more person coming at him, and he is going to be getting knocked off those streaks, unfortunately for him. Zam, solo Jello on the objective, and EDB, counter AR, is going to be getting him out of there. J-Stu, deeming that the coast is clear, is going to be getting onto this objective. Express, they might have the spawns, and they've got themselves in good positions to where they're not going to get stuck in them. So holistically, this is a good position to push back in from Express. Boofy coming in with a knife, giving him the BM straight to his face, letting him know exactly how he feels about that one. And just like that, it was a great position from the push back in from. And in fact, they completely get the hill back again. And so Express now not only have the spawns, but they have the hill time as well.
And they did, you know, the standard way of breaking into hills. You find one pick, and then you use your numbers advantage to muscle into the hill. And that's exactly what they did, and they did it through different angles and avenues as well. Now, on that rotation, John, massive position at the back to lock down those spawns. And now Moo is put in a spot that he needs to really grab as much attention as he can and pull these players away from Plat and Plants. And he does so slightly, but not enough, as we will see the side of Express lock in those spawns for the new hill and lock in the initial time as well.
Now, something I want to point out is that Moo, he knew that his opponents had those spawns, and so he instantly tried to go in for the cutoff. It seems like he's trying to do that again. His teammates are pretty much all hands on deck going in for the objective, and I'll come back with him later, but mainly what he's going to try and do here is stop their mid-map presence, make it so that they can't quite easily get to the objective, but his position is only useful when you're able to force people to have to respawn, meaning you kill them, and no killing has really been done on the objective, so yeah, it's basically not giving his team any use from being in there, and Express are able now to rotate past him. They kill him off of his head glitch, not really having such a good time. Speaking of not having a good time, I hate having to point this stuff out, Trixel, but Mysterion is still yet to get a kill, and that's something that's definitely going to weigh your team down.
Is that James Bond there? Oh, no, it's
not. I missed that
one. It's 008. It's 008. It's not James Bond. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Well, you know, I feel like you look at that big old goose egg, the guy, now he has the breadsticks. Congratulations on the upgrades, sir. Much appreciated. But, you know, it's you look over at that, and you can't help but have to, like, connect that to the fact that the scoreline is 129 to 43. Like, it's over 50 points, maybe set over 75 points. I'm not really good at math in a pinch like this, but, man, Sense 6 have had such a brutal go at these first kills in this first rotation.
It's definitely been brutal. That's a fair word I would have to use to describe this, but if we're looking at this, Mysterion, he's not necessarily the problem, because on this map, I'm not even going to blame him for the fact that he was 0-7 for a second there. It's obviously some of it is his fault, but also a lot of it is to do with the fact that their ARs have been getting significantly beat down upon the majority of the time. Whereas on this map, you pretty much need your ARs to get you in good positions. When you've got people like Zam and people like John just cutting you down as soon as you try to get close, there are a lot of open positions you have to run through, and when you're a sub, it's not easy to counter-chow an AR on a head glitch. And so I think it's part of it is him not winning his gunfights, but also a lot of it is their ARs are not getting them into the positions they need to be.
Yeah, and right now, you know, you got Sue soaking up some time, which is good to end this rotation off, but now looking over to the P1, there's a few players that have rotated over in favor of Sixth Sense, but Vask is right there. He's smelling a few, and he's going to take 2 down with him. as one player left over by that new point is going to be left alone in Moo. He's going to have some reinforcements coming through this station soon as the train starts to get docked here. Well, we get Express 2v1. Their team just muscles back into a hill. Like their breaks are probably the most physical breaks I see. It's not necessarily like it's massively like 5-headed or 4-headed. It's just dominance, weight shifting.
This is just very convincing for Express 2v1. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. Whatever they rotate to, whatever they set their mind to, they really seem like they want to take. And even when their subs were inside the objective, they just did not have the proper map control to say, okay, they can't come from behind us. That's exactly what happened. They came from behind them. Mysterion got shot in the back of the head. And yeah, just not proper zonal control going on here from Sixth Sense is the main cause of their woes, and it's why they're 100 points down right now. Boofy getting in once again. Mysterion all by himself is going to get singled out and taken down, and Boofy is going to be getting the better of him once again. Boofy now solo on this objective. Let's see how he does in comparison. He's got EDB, knows where he's coming from. Good callouts coming from his teammates. And see how big of a difference that this zonal control can have. John saw the guy come in and he called him out for Boofy, instantly able to take him down. And so this is what a difference teamwork can make.
100%. Boofy's been just lights out as he's right now looking at a 19 and 11, just about to be at 20 and 11. He's on a 5 streak as well. He's accrued, and he's continuing to just find more and more as he's going to be coming off of this hill and looking to continue to add more tallies to his kills count. You know, looking over by station, big rotational battle right there. Stu going to find one, spot another one rotating around. He's going to find Bask from behind, so this is huge. He's really looking to cut down quite a few players, looking to rotate late over towards that next objective as it pops up, and the team in purple is going to be able to grab and soak up that time. All the time that's been wasted by Sixth Sense over by station has led Express to not really have much of a response for 15 seconds of that hill.
I think that was actually really good on Stu to pretty much force them to keep spawning so far back because of, again, how far away these spawns can be from this objective. So I think that was a good little bit of heads-up play. A little bit risky, but he knew that going in, and he got the reward from it, so can't hate. Now, Stu has made his way back to the objective without dying, another good thing for him. But streaks are going to be coming in, not quite getting a hit, though, because they're on the inside, and they can't quite bend it in there like that. But look at this from Express. They're coming in, trying to catch them from their spawn, but yeah, they are going to be getting a little bit taken down. Mysterion now is really his time to shine. He really needs to do something. He's all by himself, but in all honesty, maybe not. He was pretty much just fighting for 2 seconds, and he pretty much did what he needed to do to prevent them from winning.
Now, perfect game needs to be played for the rest of this map by the side of Sixth Sense as 1 point wins it for Express 2v1. Boofy streaks are being invested here. John taking players off of the hill means nobody's going to be getting any of that time. Now we see the purple team look to take on to it, but Boofy from behind should be able to clean up the last 2 players by the hill, and that should be it. 250 points hit by Express 2v1 to 138. Over 100-point deficit difference between the two teams. Very much something that was deserved for Express in this series and obviously in this map.
Oh man, that's a game you can really look at to see the difference between the difference that not just individual gun skill can make, but just teamwork in general. Again, I highlighted it very, very well, I would say. When they were in positions, like, you literally saw the 2 people in the same positions, but just a little bit of different things. One of the teams had someone in a position to give a call out, and the other didn't. And that was not just true for in that instance, but also true in a lot of instances. And so that combined with the fact that they were just individually, I would say, a lot better than their opponents, even when they were 3v4, which was for the majority of most of those hard points. I think that was the first map that we saw them not go 3v4. But even so, point standing, they looked good even like that. So the individual skill just shone through as well. So yeah, I'm really keen to see how they keep on going in this group tricks.
Yeah, and it's going to be a massive improving point, I guess, for the side of Express when it comes to their points. Because now, with that win, and not obviously not looking at any of the other matches that happened tonight for this group, but with that win, that puts them up in over 6 cents. That puts Express at a 2-0 record in second place in the group, and 6 cents dropping below them now with a 2-2 record of only 5 points to 6 points. So this battle right now in this group, it's really tight. The records are tight. We saw them earlier, and it's going to continue to be tight, especially if we see, some of these maps go in a tight way, and if we see technical difficulties happen more often as well. We're hoping Sledgehammer Games can put things together and get this game to be a lot more, technically sound, I would say, for both caster and competitor, right?
Right. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people get scan repair, and oh wow, there's one just to end off the night.
Come on,
Dude.
ladies and gentlemen, he's not lying. I just saw it too on the share screen. This
Dude,
guy
I'm
got a
serious.
scan and repair while we're not even commentating or in game. Literally.
God, it's
Sledgehammer
funny how
knows
things work.
they heard what I said and they absolutely hated it. So they just gave you a scan and repair. I don't know, man. I don't know. Curses, man.
Yep, curses. We won't be living that one down just yet, but hopefully it will be lifted with one of the next updates. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we got for you tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed the games. If you want to see more, you can go ahead and drop a follow for where you're at right now. This is the Esports Hub channel. You can go and give them some love on Twitch. You're already there, and also give them some love on Twitter. They host a plethora of games. Call of Duty is one of them, but also if you love Halo, and I'm sure that a lot of you do, they're also hosting Halo events and things for a variety of games. Also, if you want to see Trixel casting some other things as well, you can go and follow him on his Twitter. Go ahead and give him your @. Is it right there?
It's right here. It's Caster Fortrix. And then obviously, if you like the absolutely handsome and talented partner here in crime tonight, Comica, you can give him a follow on his Twitter, and you can show him love as he looks to commentate a plethora of competitions across Call of Duty to other things as well. The man's a Mr. Do-It-All, really. And I can't thank him enough for putting up with myself today.
No, dude, it was a pleasure. But yeah, one last time, it is Comica_18, not Comica_ because it was already taken. But yeah, Trix, it was a pleasure. It was a great old cast tonight. Both these matches were fun to watch, even though some of them were more blowout-y than others. Both had great moments, and they were a pleasure to have with you and the Esports Hub and all of the people in the audience. Thank you all for coming out, and we'll catch you all in the next one.